Hey everybody, it's Sunday, doing a video for Beyond the Borderline, problematic traits. What is the most uh, of borderline personality disorder? What is it? I mean, I exhibit all the traits for the disorder, but the main one I have a problem with that really frustrates me the most is identity disturbance. Um, Identity disturbance is where you have so much pain in your life, and from your childhood on through your life, that you feel like you don't have a personality, and you kind of have this blank slate. It's almost like a chameleon kind of thing, to where you go from idea to person to thing, and you just assume that identity, or you assume that persona, so to speak. And you pretty much always ask yourself, what, who am I? And it could last. I mean, the way your personality is, it can last a minute, an hour, a day. It doesn't matter. And it's one of the more, for me, it's one of the more frustrating aspects of the disorder, is not really knowing who you are. And it basically comes down to um, um, with being a borderline, in after you go through it for a while, you'll understand it and realize that being a borderline is all about not seeing what's in front of you, not seeing or dealing with the pain that is your life, and the destructiveness, and the emotional roller coaster. And so there's like all these defense mechanisms that you can employ, from promiscuity to kleptomania to drug and alcohol to, I mean, and same thing with the identity disturbance. I mean, being yourself is so painful and so hard to deal with, that you have this defense mechanism where your mind you just cling to other things, and so as long as you're not you, everything's fine. And I've dealt with this for a long time, and it can be, I guess, helpful in the near term or in the short term, but overall it's not healthy. I mean, being something you're not, and not really knowing who you are, what your values are, what you believe in, and it's just not, it's not healthy. But at the same time, I mean, with a lot of borderlines that go through childhood abuse and whatnot, your mind gets to this fractured state where it's going to do anything to protect you, mentally and emotionally, and so it's going to throw up those things. And I just, I mean, that's just my biggest thing. Now, as far as being able to cope with it, I don't. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm not recovered at all. So it's just one of those things I just go through, and and until I can get recovered. And it's just one of those, and it's one of those things too, where it's all about the therapy, as far as knowing who you really are, and actually being just yourself only, and not adopting all these other people or things or ideas, and just being off track. So I mean, so there's not really any. It's not really a coping part of that aspect of the disorder, because in all actuality, the identity disturbance, as far as taking on other traits from other things, other people, that kind of thing, is a coping mechanism for the disorder itself. So, but once once again, it's just the kind of thing it's a day-to-day thing, and you just have to go through it. And I'm sure it's more, it's more evident for for some people with borderline than others. But for me, that's one of the more frustrating aspects of the disorder is the identity disturbance, because it's very unsettling, not really knowing who you are, what you believe in, or really at all, and going from being this person or that person, or taking on that idea or that idea or this idea. And it can be a little, especially with your friends, they're like, who are you? Who are you today? Or, that kind of stuff. And, like I say, you could change from, in your personality in general, or so to speak, your personality in general, you can change from a second to a minute to a day to an hour, multiple times. And, but like I said before, it's just one of those things that it's not really a symptom of you, to where you can do this or do that. Until you get into therapy, that's really, it's just something you have to deal with, as far as not really knowing who you are, and the whole blank, you just have a blank slate, and you really don't know what you stand for, and that kind of thing. Like me personally, like I told you before, I'm not recovered, so it's just the kind of thing I'll have to deal with until I can get into therapy again, and to get it done. And even with like antidepressants or anxiety medicine, that kind of thing, that makes no, it helps overall with the emotional state, as far as, dumbing down emotions, that kind of stuff. But as far as the identity disturbance, not feeling that you don't have an identity at all, not that now. But so I guess that's about it. See you guys next Sunday.